do you get the impression that they appreciate the damage is already being done to the banking sector? You're having to set aside funds for relocation, potential relocation. Yes. You're making sure you've got plenty of liquidity at the moment. Do they recognise the fact that banks are already beginning to suffer?
I hope so, because we keep telling them, and I think the financial sector has been telling them very, very firmly. Now, some of this, of course, is inevitable. I'm afraid that if we go in for Brexit, we will find that jobs will leave the city. And that there will be a rebalancing of financial activity within Europe. The city has been astonishingly dominant in European financial markets in recent years. So some of it is going to happen.
Just to be clear about that, we will lose jobs in the city as a result of Brexit. We will lose jobs at RBS as a result of Brexit.
In our case, it'll be relatively small because we are not a very large player in European financial markets. We have some lending there, which will carry on, and we have some financial markets activity, trading, foreign exchange and things, and we're going to have to set up a subsidiary in Amsterdam unless an unusually favourable...
What's then your assessment of the damage to the city as a whole?
I think it's going to be quite considerable over time because up to now people have centred their European activities, and we're talking particularly about the American banks, the Japanese banks, even the Chinese banks, and they have chosen to put the enormous lion's share of their activity in Europe based in London. And they're now rebalancing. That's going to happen, whatever the outcome of the Brexit negotiations are. So the game is, can we provide an outcome which minimises that cost? It'll not remove it. It'll definitely be a cost. And the question is, can we negotiate enough market access so that that cost is at the margin, is a few thousand people, not tens of thousands?
I mean, could that cost be catastrophic, particularly if, as seems increasingly likely, we have a no-deal Brexit?
That would be bad news, because I think then some quite large moves of people would take place. And you can already see some signs of the impact. London property prices are starting to fall compared to the rest of the country, and that's particularly because...
So many would say about time.
One has to say, you're asking me about the financial sector, I'm giving you the answer. Some people would say, well, hey, these guys deserved it, and, maybe we've had finance has been too dominant in the economy. And there's some reasonable arguments there. But if you ask me, will this affect the city, my answer is yes.